This is part 147 of ASP.NET tutorial. In this video, we'll discuss master pages in ASP.NET. This is continuation to part 146, so please watch part 146 before proceeding. Master pages in ASP.NET allow us to create a consistent look and behavior for all the pages in an ASP.NET web application. First, let's create a master page. Let's flip to Visual Studio. This is the same project that we worked with in the previous session. Adding a master page is straightforward. All you need to do is right click on the project name, add a new item, select master page, and notice that master pages have got .master extension, and let's name this site.master. Click add. So this should add a master page, and notice that within this master page we have got two content placeholders, one in the head section and another within the body section. So what are these content placeholders? Content placeholders define a region on a master page where content pages can plug in their specific content. For now, let's get rid of these two content placeholders altogether. And then we want to design this master page in such a way that it looks like this. And if you recollect from the previous session, we already have the required HTML that would give us this layout, and that's present in webform1.aspx. So let's copy the HTML from there. So this is the HTML table which gives us that layout. So let's copy this table and paste that within site.master. Now let's flip this master page to the design mode. Notice that we get the exact same layout. And this is the section where we want the content pages to plug in their page specific content. And for us to be able to do that, we need to include a content placeholder. So what's a content placeholder? That's a location or a region within the master page where content pages can plug in their page specific content. So let's drag and drop content placeholder from the toolbox. So here we have the content placeholder. Now let's put this text inside that content placeholder, and we can easily do that in the source mode. So here we have the content placeholder. Let's move this h2 tag along with this text inside the content placeholder. Let's format this HTML properly, and to do that, let's select the entire HTML and press Ctrl K and D. Okay, so one important thing to notice here is the ID of the content placeholder control. Let's actually change this to main content placeholder. In a bit we'll see how we are going to make use of this ID to plug in page specific content. Alright, now let's add a content page. Adding content page is straightforward. All you need to do is right click on the master page and select add content page. And look at the amount of HTML that we have in the content page. Now we don't have HTML, head, body tags. Where are all they present? They're actually present within the master page. Look at that, we have HTML, we have head tag, we have body tag. Since they are already present on the master page, they need not be present on the content page, because this content page is subscribed to that master page, and on that master page we already have those tags. Okay, and look at this. This content page is associated with this master page using master page file attribute. Notice the value, it's set to site.master, and that's present within the root directory. That's what the ~/ indicates. Okay, so for webform2.aspx, master page is site.master. So HTML head and body sections are not present on the content page as they are already present on the master page. Content pages are associated with master page using master page file attribute of the page directive. So within the content page we have got this page directive, and it has got this master page file attribute which associates this content page with this master page. Alright, now within this content page, notice that we have content control. On a master page we have content placeholder control, and within the content page we have a content control. And look at this content control has got a property content placeholder ID, and look at what it is set to. It is set to main content placeholder, and if you recollect, this is the ID of the content placeholder on the master page. Look at that, main content placeholder. So this content control is associated with this content placeholder. So whatever content that you put inside this content control, that will be present, or that will be substituted here at this location. Okay, now any content that you want to put on the content page should go inside the content control. If you try to, for example, type some text here, and look at this, when I try to flip this to the design mode, there is an error. Okay, and if we actually run this, we get an error as well. I mean a parser error basically, because on a content page, all the content, the controls and the content should all be present inside the content control. Look at this, only content controls are allowed directly in a content page that contains content controls. So this page, this content page, webform2.aspx, this contains a content control. If that is the case, then all the content and controls need to present inside that control. Otherwise, you will get a parser error. Okay. Now let's include maybe an h1 tag here and say this is webform1 content. And let's flip this to the design mode. Look at that, this is webform1 content. The content of this page is plugged at this location. And can I edit the layout of the master page? Look at this, as soon as I move my mouse here, it's grayed out, it's disabled. We can't change the layout from the content page. So if you want to change the common layout, then we'll have to do that from the master page. Okay, so here are the other points to remember about master page. Content controls on a content page is linked to content placeholder on the master page using content placeholder ID attribute of the content control. We have seen that just now. And controls like text box, button, grid view, etc., and any static text that you want on the content page, all that should be placed inside the content control. If we try to place anything outside of the content control, we would get an error. Now, when we have flipped the content page to the design mode, notice that I can only edit this section because this section is specific to this content page. This is a common layout outside of that content placeholder, and look at that, that's disabled and grayed out. We can't edit that basically. Alright, let's add another content page. So let's right click on the master page, add a content page. So we have webform3.aspx, and within this content placeholder, let's actually drag and drop maybe a button, a calendar. Look at that, all of them are placed inside the content placeholder. And let's also include a text here saying that this is webform2. Okay, so let's actually, this is actually webform3 and the other one is webform2, because we already have webform1 which is not using the master page. Okay, now if we want this webform1 to use the master page, what we need to do, we can get rid of all this HTML, use master page file attribute to associate this webform1 with that master page, and include a content control within this web form. Alright, so now let's actually go ahead and run this and navigate to webform2.aspx. Look at that, we get the common layout, and this is the content that is specific to webform2.aspx. Let's try to navigate to webform3.aspx. Look at that, I get the same layout, but the content that is specific to webform3.aspx is displayed here. Now, no matter how many forms you're going to have within your project, if all of them subscribe to the same master page, then all of those pages are going to have the same layout. Now let's say, for example, we want to change something within this common layout, then we don't have to do anything within the content pages. You just have one file to change, that is your master page. So let's say we want to change the header from website header to my website header. Okay, look at that, I changed it in the master page, and then when I navigate to webform3.aspx, that's reflected there. If I navigate to webform2.aspx, that's reflected there as well. So maintainability will become much easier. So an ASP.NET master page allows us to define a common layout for all the pages in the application. Later, if we have to change something in the common layout, we only have to do it in one place, and that is within the master page. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.